L's from your bed.
Literally.
I cry a lot.
Yeah, you do. I can't talk about it right now. I'm so sad. I feel so bad. I'm holding my thumb up right now and giving you a thumbs up. Hey,
I'm Mia,
and my name is Emily,
and this is Almost Adults.
Welcome back to our third episode this week. This week, we will be talking about taking L's.
I know I've taken some serious L's. What about you?
What? I've never taken an L in my life. I lie. I lie so hard.
I know. Taking L's is, I feel like everyone's definitely taken an L.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. Like, you take an L when you come out of the womb.
Dog, what? Okay, so what is one of the biggest L's that you've taken?
Man, I've had a lot of big oofs, but let's just think of just a few that I can tell you. Like, there's nothing that's just, like, the biggest L I've ever taken or anything. I will say recently, so I was going to class. It was my 2 o'clock class on a Thursday. Obviously did not want to go. It's my only class of the day. And it was raining that day. And I hate the rain. Like, the rain literally affects my mood so much. Like, I am such a sourpuss when it is raining. Because I like the sunshine. I'm just a golden retriever girl that likes... Not really. I just like the warm weather and sun and everything. But was going to class, and I got there, like, 20 minutes early because I was like, I'm just going to get through the rain, all that. Like, I didn't want to, like, wait because I was just trying to prepare myself to go outside. And I can't remember what time it was. I think it was like 1:50. And I was like, you know, there's no shot that there's a class right now in this classroom because my class is at 2. Like, I literally thought about it. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'm just going to go. I walk into that class. Everyone looks at me. And it's no one I've ever seen before. Like, it was not anyone from my class. And I just stood in the doorway. And I just hit him with a wave. And I walked out.
You didn't even say anything?
No, I just hit him with a wave and left. Like, just a nice little slight little, like...
Head
lift,
nod and wave?
Yeah, head nod. Lift of the hand. And then I went outside. And I just stood there and stared into the abyss. And I was like... do I stay in class? Do I wait and go to my class? Or do I just call it a day? Because that was just enough for me. That did me in.
Yeah,
like,
you
I was
just go back to your dorm.
I almost did. But I was like, no, I need to go to class. Because we didn't have class the day on Tuesday. That was really bad. Man, that class actually has a track record. Because then, like, 2 weeks later, I had 7 Brew. And we were walking out of my class. And I had my 7 Brew cup, and I saw that there was a trash can in my sight because I wanted to throw it away because it was all watered down. But in my brain, I guess I was at that trash can that was like 3 links away from me, and I just dropped it in the doorway. And it went all over my white shoes and like blocked everyone. And so I just had to like sit on the floor and get a bunch of paper towels and just mop it all up because the janitor's closet was locked.
Oh my.
That's some L's for me.
So personally, I have one pretty big L that if you also ask my family, that because I texted my family, I was like, hey guys, what are some of the biggest L's I've taken? And my sister immediately responded. So about 2 summers ago, my family and I were going to go on this vacation on this cruise. We've never been on a cruise before. Oh my gosh, so fun. And I turned 18 in June. And the cruise was set for like the very end of June, very beginning of July. And my birthday's on June 5th. So we get there to like the cruise port. We've driven all the way from our house in like Hot Springs to Galveston, Texas, which is kind of a long drive. And we get there and we've spent the night there so we can get on the boat early the next morning. And we get into like the port, like we can see the boat through the glass windows. And my sister and my mom go in one line, and me and my dad go in another line. And they scan my dad in, and he's, okay, good to go. And then they scan my ticket, and she's like, okay, you just gonna have to let me see your ID. So I let her see my ID, and she goes, is this the only ID you have? I'm like, I mean, yeah, like I haven't gotten to like yeah, this is the only form of ID I have is my driver's license. And she said, oh, well, this is about to expire, and it's going to expire while you're on the cruise, so we actually can't let you on the boat. And so I was like, what? What do you mean you can't let me on the boat? The boat's right there. I can see it. And she's like, yeah, because it's going to expire and you're like in international waters, like you can't get on the boat.
Bro, that's actually crazy.
Then I started crying. And
as one does.
Yes. And so then they take us out of the line. They have to get my sisters and my mom. We go sit in this area so we can go wait on our bags. And we sit there, and I'm like crying so hard because I just feel so bad. I'm like, I've just wasted all this money.
Yeah.
I've wasted our time. Like, what are we going to do now?
We all were looking forward to that, and now you can't go because you're turning 18.
Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? And so some people thought that I had just gotten news that someone died. They were like, oh my gosh, is she okay? Like, did someone pass away? And my family's just like, yeah, she's okay. And I'm just bawling my eyes out.
Like, don't worry, her birthday's just coming up. That's the only
No, it already happened. That's why. Because it was going to be like the deadline for me to get a new one was July 4th. And we were going to be like still... I don't remember if we were supposed to get off on July 4th or we were supposed to get off on July 5th, but it was like one of those two. And so they get us our bags, and then we just get back in the car. And we're like, It's like 8, 9 a.m. We have no clue what to do. We go sit at a Wendy's because it's like one of the only things open because it's a Sunday. So like there was a Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was not open. And we sit there, and I'm still crying. Like, I don't, like, I still feel bad. And then my sister was crying because I was crying, but then I was crying because she was crying because I thought
she was sad.
She was sad, yes. And so it just made me cry harder. And so then we finally decide, I don't know how we decide, but we decide we're going to go to Orlando, Florida, and we're going to go to Universal.
Hey, that's really fun, though, too.
Yes. And so we'd been to Disneyland a couple times and we always flew, so we'd never driven to Orlando. So we drove from Galveston, Texas to Orlando. It took us like 2 days.
Dude, Galveston is so gross to me.
Yes, I didn't.
Because we ported there once when I was, I think in 8th grade, I went on a cruise. And we ported there, and it was so freaking cold because it was spring break. And we went on the pier that they have there, and like we did the swings and stuff. Like, it was really fun, but it was just so miserable and cold. And I remember we went to Bubba Gump's, but like we looked at the water and we're like, this is so nasty and gray. And then we go to bed and wake up and it's like really blue water and everything. It was so fun.
And then so we drove all the way there, and that was honestly one of the best vacations I've ever been on, was the one in Universal, because it was just so impromptu. Like, my mom is one of those people that plans every single minute of our vacation, and she didn't have time to do any of that. We slept in too small of a room, honestly. They had to bring in like a little cot for me to sleep on in the floor, because that's...
I mean, you gotta save some money when you go to something like that.
I didn't care. Yeah, I mean, I was basically sleeping on top of my sister because they were so close together. But then they luckily gave us, like, they didn't give us our money back, but they said, here, we'll give you, like, I guess points, credit, yeah, and you can go on a cruise next summer.
Yeah.
So what do you think we did the moment we got back from Universal? We started getting our passports so that this wouldn't happen again.
And renew your license.
Yes, and we renewed my license. And I don't know how that slipped under the rug. Like, because I know I had been busy the month before because I had, like, church camp and I had something else, and my sisters had, like, cheer camp, so it was just super busy that month. And I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. And we didn't tell anyone the reason why we didn't get to go on a cruise. Like, my grandma thinks it's my dad's fault.
Bruh. I just think it's so funny to tell that story, though.
But that's probably the biggest L I've ever taken is not allowing my family to get on the boat when we could literally see the boat.
Dude, that's just crazy to me, though, too, because, like, when I turned 18, like, the day I went and got my license renewed, like, I skipped class and was like, I'm going to get this renewed, which I think I was just excited that I turned 18. I was like, I'm a big girl now, big adult.
Yeah, that was not my thought process.
That's okay. Well, also, my birthday was in January. Yours is during the summer. Yeah. So it's like you have other things going on.
I posted on my Snapchat story me, like, red in the face. It was my private story. And I was like, hey, guys, don't try to get on your cruise if your license hasn't been renewed. And everyone was like, what? I'm like, I can't talk about it right now. I'm so sad. I feel so bad.
Dude, that literally sounds like, so another L I've actually taken was after a pep rally in high school. I drove to the pep rally, which you're not allowed to do, but I did it anyway because I just didn't want to walk. And so some of my friends rode with me to the arena, and we were leaving, and I backed up, which I was distracted, right, because I was just talking to them, and I didn't see anyone in my back view. Like, I was like, okay, I was looking, it was fine. Well, I guess there was just a huge Jeep in my blind spot, and I just backed right into the Jeep. And I just sat there when I heard the humongous, like, boom, and, like, my car got lifted, and we all just sat there, and you just see so many kids, like, outside in the parking lot just staring at us. And I just, like, pulled forward my car, Shonda. She was demolished on the side, her driver's side back. And I remember that, like, my siblings always crashed their cars and, like, did something to them. And I always talked so big that I would never do that. And I was better than them.
Oh, darn.
Like, I was like, I will never do that. Like, that's so stupid. And I did that, and my pride got so freaking strong. And it was shattered. Because when I realized I did it, and, like, we would have to tell my siblings what happened, I just sobbed. And I couldn't stop. Like, no, they couldn't even make fun of me about it for, like, a year. Because I was, like, so upset about it that I did it. But now, I just owned it. But R.I.P. Shonda.
Yeah, that was
She's
me.
gone now.
My sisters tried to be like, a couple days later, they were like, hey, remember that time? I was like, if you start, I will
It's, like,
start
too
crying
soon.
right now.
Too soon.
But now it's very funny. We laugh about it now.
No, because I remember, like, that day, my brother called my dad and was like, can I talk to her about it? And my dad was like, you can't bring this up for a while. Like, she's not okay. Like, I just remember laying in my bed and turned off the lights and just was emo, like, so upset about it.
I feel like our cars are definitely a topic of taking L's because when I got my first car, it was a low to the ground Honda Civic. And I'm driving on my road, which I live on the side of a mountain, mind you. So rocks fall sometimes.
Right.
And there's this rock in the middle of the road. But I learned how to drive in my dad's truck, which is, like, tall. So I go to straddle this rock. Clunk, clunk.
You can't do
And
that.
guess what? I didn't run over the rock and it got stuck. And we were on our way to school, so my dad had to get out. And obviously I'm crying, because why wouldn't I be crying? I just ruined my car.
Right.
In my head, my car is actually totaled because I ran over this rock. I'm like, I've totaled my car. My dad's going to hate me forever because I just totaled my brand new car. And he gets under it. He gets the rock out. He says, okay, I'm driving now. And then I cried the whole way to school. And I busted the shields under my car. It cost like $400 to fix.
Bro, another thing with Shonda is for a while, you couldn't, like, manually shift her without having a screwdriver. And anytime anyone got in the car, I'd have to preface, hey, this is going to happen. You are safe, I promise.
I promise my car's not broken.
Like, she was a reliable car, but every once in a while some things would break. And my dad forgot that it was, like, a thing. Like, he just was like, this is a temporary fix. And it I had it for, like, a year or so. And I got so good at it. Like, it was just, like, one motion. Like, people, if they didn't even, like, really pay attention, wouldn't even know I did it. And I remember Dad got in the car with me, and he saw I did that, and he was like, that's actually so unsafe. Like, we got to get that fixed.
I remember I was looking in your glove box. I'm like, why do you have this screwdriver here?
It's like, it's just for...
You were like, I used to have to shift gears with that.
I was like, we keep it just in case.
just in case it's crazy.
Well, you never know. And then my gas tank thing wouldn't open, and my dad finally got it fixed. And then when I actually hit that Jeep, it broke it again. And then I think we got it fixed again. But anyway, so the button would never work to open it. So I'd have to go into the trunk and pull a lever to open it. And then it would never close. So I'd have to punch it shut.
Oh.
So people thought I probably was so angry every time I got gas, which I was, because it was the worst experience.
Yes.
Because I would have to literally put my whole fist, my body into it for it to shut because it didn't want to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a humbling experience.
And then one time, so my mom never parks behind me. She parks in our garage. I backed right into her. She was parked behind me. And I was in choir in high school, and we were gonna go to, I think, Little Rock, or I had something choir that morning, and I couldn't find my shirt, so we were already late, and so I go to just back out. Wrong. I cannot back out. Slam, slam. Yeah, I hit my mom's car, and so then my sisters are in the car because obviously I drive them to school, and I run inside. I'm like, I just hit mom's car, like, Dad, and he said something, and I started crying even more. I was like, I'm so sorry. Running theme here. I cry a lot.
Yeah, you do. I don't cry that much. I wish I could. Like, I genuinely wish I could.
I do. It's easy to make me cry.
See, when I'm very good at, like, almost crying. You know, like, getting
almost crying.
Like, I'll get close. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm about to cry. And then my body's like, no, shut it down. Abort.
Abort, no.
Abort. You can't cry. And I'm like, okay, I won't.
Okay, and so we do have just a few tips on how you can handle your L's and how we have handled our L's in the past, because Lord knows we've had many.
Or
many
it'll
L's.
be what you should do and not be like us,
Yes.
because we
have
are
learned.
wise, but sometimes not.
Yes, and we
When it was
have
our own problem.
learned.
We have learned from our mistakes, and we've grown, and that's why we're doing this and telling you guys what to do and not to do, because you're welcome in advance, because this will help your life so much. You're welcome. Anyway, one tip would be accepting it quickly, like your L, and then just moving on. Like, you know, you just gotta accept it because it's not going anywhere. It happened, and move on.
Don't cry for 8 hours like I did when we were on our way to Orlando.
Because I'm like, you can cry. It's okay to get that out, but don't dwell on it, because, I mean, there's not going to be any good that comes out of you crying.
I dwelled on it the entire time we were in Orlando.
See, but then it's not as fun when you're in Orlando and you're just dwelling on it. Like,
because then I lost, like, my key card, and we had to go get another one, so I was like,
you would.
Hey, I lost it, okay? Because we bought these lanyards, and they, like, clipped on, and I kept messing with the clip, and then all of a sudden my card was gone. I was like, oh, crap. So then I started crying. I was like, and I've ruined this part of the vacation, too. I did not accept anything quickly.
Your parents were probably like, bro, who brought her here?
They were like, she's 18 years old, we swear.
Like,
We swear.
we should have left her at home.
Yeah, literally. Literally. And so that kind of, you live and you learn, because, hey, I have a passport now, so
You do.
that my thing won't
You
expire.
learn from your mistakes, and you just keep on trucking, you know? Because another thing, and I mean, you obviously can tell what we're doing, is you got to laugh it off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we've been doing this whole time talking about these things, is just laughing it off, because...
Like, your family will laugh at you, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, and it's a great topic of discussion. Like, I know me and Mia have talked about our elves so many times just to get a good laugh. Like, it's just fun to talk
And
about.
it always makes us giggle, that's for sure.
And, you know, it may be a sore topic at first, and that's okay. Respect it and don't talk about it yet. But when you can laugh about it, it is really fun.
Yes.
Just don't take yourself too seriously when it comes to all of that, because
Yeah.
it's really not that big of a deal when you look at it later on.
And then one of my favorite things that I think we're going to talk about is just to gaslight yourself into thinking that it wasn't an L, it was definitely a W.
You have to think on the bright side and be like,
Yes.
how can I turn this into actually a dub? Like, for your cruise, you got to go to Orlando.
Yeah, and that was the best vacation I've ever had with my family, in my opinion.
Family bonding.
Yes.
You know?
And we were all in such a close room,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
couldn't get away from each other.
Dub. Y'all are closer now because of
Yes,
it.
Definitely. And now we all have something to laugh about for years and years to come.
I don't know how the ones I've discussed are dubs. Yeah, they're not. I just gaslighted myself saying
siblings-
that, like, I hope they never recognize me again.
Gave your siblings fuel to bully you. Not bully you, but make
That's
fun
not
of
a
you.
dub for me, though.
Oh, it's a dub for them.
It is a dub for them. Kudos. Not for me. I don't know. That is a good it's a good tip, but it's not for me.
You know what all that is? It's character development.
It is character development.
And that's what you just have to take your L's as sometimes. You just have to kind of take them and say, okay, real funny, guys. Real funny of you to write that in, guys.
It's just training to be the main character.
Yeah.
Because technically, you are in your story. You're the main character. So, like, live like the main character in everyone's world. Holla.
Then you just have to look off at your imaginary camera, like Jim Halpert.
Yeah, look off at it or look over it. Like, just like, it's right there, but it's like you're in a documentary, because I'm doing a documentary right now, and you're like, I can't look at the camera. You have to look over it because you're having conversation with someone else.
Oh.
And it's dramatic.
No, in this, it's not like a documentary. You'd look right at the camera, not over, because you're not having a conversation with someone.
But that's not right.
You're breaking the fourth wall.
But it's not right.
It's not a documentary.
It should be.
It's a TV show.
It should be a documentary.
It's a movie.
It should be a documentary.
It's not, I promise. Okay, and the next one would be to just find your niche to blow steam, like whether it's like running like Emily likes to do, or I like to color, or if it's eating an entire tub of ice cream,
which
like
we both
like to do. Even on occasions where we do not take an L, we like to eat a tub of ice cream.
It's just like, it is the way to blow steam, like a hobby, just getting your mind off it, you know, like Mia said, I do like to run. Now, I haven't been running that much lately because it's been so cold.
It's been
and I miss
outside.
it so much because I'm so out of shape. But I just love running because it just helps me, like, not think about everything and just, like, focus on getting to point A to point B. And then when I'm done, I feel so much better.
Yes.
Mia colors.
I do. I love to color. I don't know why I like to color, because it's kind of embarrassing to talk about. But
It's not, though.
I have so many adult coloring books.
I know you do. I live with you.
You don't even know the half of it. I keep most of them in my house. I have Sharpies. I have colored pencils. I have markers. You name it, I probably have it. But I love to color. It just calms me down. And it's something to do. Like, I can't just watch a TV show.
See, I just watch a TV show, or, like, one of my big things is, like, I like watching basketball. So, like, I'll watch Hogs, like, Arkansas Razorback highlights or whatever. And
see, if it's a movie I've, like, never seen before, you, like, have to pay attention.
Well, yeah.
I know we just watched A Quiet Place. Like, that
Such a good
kept
movie.
my attention the entire time.
As it
But,
should.
like,
It's a great movie.
If I'm just watching a TV show, even if it is for the first time, I've got to have something to do. Like, I can't just sit there and watch. Like, when we watch TV, I'm, like, playing Hay Day.
No, I know
I'm
you
playing
are.
Bubble Witch, or I'm...
See, I just watch it. Like, or sometimes I'll get on my phone, but I don't do something else.
I got to go tend to my farm real quick.
Yeah, I have a farm. I just don't tend to it very much. I'm not a very good farmer.
I'm a great farmer, so...
Right.
So...
That's why you wear overalls.
Oh. No, it's because they're cute.
Right.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
So now you're being bratty.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Another thing, it's kind of going off of what we've been talking about, like using character development and everything, but also knowing how to use the L for fuel and to be better later on.
Yes.
Like, there's some things, like, maybe, like, a small thing would be, like, I don't do as well in an assignment that I wish I would.
Yes.
And you're like, man, I really thought I did good on that, and it's kind of discouraging because you don't do as well as you thought. And so I feel like usually for me that's fuel to, like, be better. So, like, usually my assignments are, like, video editing or audio editing or something, and, my professor will be like, hey, try to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, like, I want to be better. I don't like getting those critiques, obviously, because I want to be better. So just using it as fuel to be better and to get better at your craft and everything else. And that's just, like, a small thing. That can be, anything like schoolwork, just life in general. Like, if you don't do well in, something in life and you're just like, I don't like this feeling, I want to be better, then be better. Like, simple as that.
Yeah, I had a class last spring semester, and it was kind of a running joke in our class that, like, we all just kept failing assignments. Like, not even like, oh, we failed, it's a B. No, I mean, like, I made zeros on assignments. It wasn't, like, I got, like, a 0 out of 5. But still, that's still a 0.
It is a 0.
And let me tell you, at one point, yes, everything did add fuel, but at one point I was just like, fine then, if I can't do anything right, I'm just not going to care anymore.
And when it gets that bad, yeah,
You just have to know when to take a break.
Yeah. Take some time for yourself, like we talked about,
Yeah.
finding your thing and everything. But you need, even if you just have to do absolutely nothing, like, take a shower and go to bed. It just, sleep helps all. Like, I swear by
Yes, it
sleep.
does.
Sleep is my best friend. Literally.
I love sleep.
It's literally my best friend. I got Mia to fall in love with sleep more than she ever has before. Because I'm a grandma
were. You were a
I
grandma
were a
when we first
grandma.
met. I were a grandma
I was a grandma.
when we first met, yes. And I was a night owl, and I stayed up till like 2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah, no. That we kind of switched.
Yeah.
I don't stay up that late
Anymore.
No, I mean there'll be times I lay in bed till 2, but like
we usually
I'm
go to bed
not-
at like 12,
Yeah,
which is still late to the average person.
but
I
not
think.
for. I feel not for like
a college
our
student.
age.
Yeah.
Like it's normal, and we get up at like a decent hour. Sometimes on
10:30 a.m.
the weekends is a whole different thing though. Like we don't get up till like noon sometimes, and that's okay. We need our sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's us taking our time for ourselves because we've taken so many L's during the week.
Yes, you have to just not take any L's during the weekend. So
We
if you don't
take-
do anything during the weekend, you can't take
That's
any
literally
L's.
my philosophy. Like I stay in bed and just watch whatever I want.
You can't take L's from your bed.
Literally, your bed is your safe place.
There you go.
Yeah, because me and Mia take way too many L's during the week. Yeah. And it's just like tiny things, like getting a bad rice bowl.
Or if you work with children, you ask, well, how old do you think I am? And they say 40. Oh, I'm actually 19, friend.
Be
Thank
like,
you.
and start using that wrinkle cream. Neutrogena.
Oh. Oh.
Is it Neutrogena or is it Jergens?
That's lotion. Jergens is lotion.
Wow. Neutrogena then, anti-aging cream.
A
Sponsor
retinol
me.
cream. Sponsor you.
Sponsor me,
Bruh.
please. That'd be really nice.
And then you also have to remember if you're like getting zeros and like you just keep getting beat down, that you're probably not the only one struggling. Because I know in my class we would like talk about it, like,
Right.
oh, how did you do on this assignment? Because I didn't do very well, and they're like, oh, well, I didn't do very well either. And it honestly makes you feel a little better, like, oh, it's not just me.
Well, that's also just talking about finding a support group too.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it's your friends or people in your class that are not doing as well as you, or even they're better. You know, I'm thinking like in that kind of class, if you try to find like the one that's doing the best, even if they're not even like doing that great, spend time with them. Be like, please help me in any way. But just finding like that safe place, like those people to help you and just make you feel recharged and not make you feel bad for your L's is like, that's good. Because you don't want someone that's constantly tearing you down and being like, oh, that's not good. Like,
Yeah.
be encouraging to other people. Because also, like, just because someone else is winning doesn't mean you're actually failing. You know, like, you can look at someone and be like, oh my gosh, they're doing so much better in life. But they're really not.
They're really not, because everyone moves at a different pace.
Yeah, because you could be thinking you're failing because you're so in deep, like looking at it from this inside, and then someone's outside looking at you and they're like, they're doing so well. They
Yes.
look so put together. Because I feel like some people think that, like, I've gotten that a lot because people are like, oh my gosh, you just look so like good, like you're just doing so great, and I'm like, I actually
You're
feel
like,
like
thanks, I'm dying inside.
I'm like, yeah, thanks. I feel like I'm dying. Thank you so much. Which is really like, it's really nice to hear. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I'm gaslighting myself too good. I'm doing so
yes,
good.
this L is a W.
Yes, I am such a queen at faking it.
You are.
I know I am. Now, there's times I'm just like, I do not give a crap, and I don't fake it anymore. But everyone does move at a different pace. So, I mean, it's just one of those things you have to realize because, I mean, even me and Mia move at different paces in our lives.
Oh, yes, for sure, for sure.
You sound a little salty.
You move quite a bit faster than I do,
If
we're being honest.
I am very impatient. I'm sorry.
Everything is now, now, now for you. And I'm like, well, what if we didn't do it now? What if we just waited? And you're like, wrong. That's actually not a possibility.
No, I'm
at
like,
all in the
it's in my
slightest.
head right now. And if we don't do it right now, it will never leave my head. And I will have this itching feeling. And then I get anxious. And I have to go now.
And I'm like, hear me out. What if we waited 10 minutes until it's due? And then we do it.
That I cannot do that. I do everything the week before.
See, I work well under pressure, I think. Like, if I have a writing assignment, I have a writing assignment due at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and I start doing it today.
No.
And
I
I
mean,
finished
I could
it today.
I work well under pressure, but I'm just like, why be under this pressure? I don't need this stress in my life.
I work better. It makes me write better. I truly believe that. My English teacher in high school told me he doesn't trust anyone who doesn't procrastinate.
That's crazy. Because I'm like, I do so much better in everything. And I'm like, I can't add any extra stress to me because I'm such a, like, stressful, anxiety person, whatever that is, anxious person. So it's just, I can't do that to myself. I mean, even not in class, but, like, running, when we go walking or whatever, I get so impatient I want to be done.
Yeah.
So I run.
Yep. I know.
And I leave
You
Mia.
leave me.
Hey.
We have a little system. It's if I can't see her, I know I need to run, and if she can't see me, she knows she needs to walk.
Yeah.
And it works.
And then when I see her, I run because I want to run fast.
Yes.
Because I'm like, okay, she can see me. I'm going to go because I want to push myself because I want to die while I'm running. Not actually. I almost died Friday running, but it was okay.
It's okay.
We've got some
We're
side
going to go on
stitches.
a walk tomorrow, and we're going to do so good. And we're
I
not going to
hope we
run.
can. I hope we can.
Oh, yeah,
If
it's
it
supposed to rain. Never mind. Just kidding. That's another L I just took. I just lied. Sorry about that.
I like to go outside,
I know you do.
but not in the nasty weather.
And then, kind of as we're kind of starting to wrap up, you have to realize that no one cares as much as you do. Like you said, like, you're seeing it from your perspective.
Yeah.
And you think everything is just so big. It's not as big as you think it is.
Yeah, well, it's just, I mean, it's valid because you are in too
Yes.
deep. You're seeing everything just, like, through your own vision, tunnel vision, especially if you're not doing as well as you want to be, because I know not everyone says they're a perfectionist, but in their life, they want to do well.
Yes.
Like, you're your own
If you don't want to be
perfection-
perfect, you still want to do well.
And you're also your worst critic.
Yes, you.
Everyone
yes,
is.
you are. Yes.
Like, I know I
think-
am.
I think everything I do, I'm like, oh, that was not good at all. And then I'll get feedback from teachers. It's like, wow, you did really good. Like, you're actually one of the only students in the class that followed the instructions.
Dude,
I'm like, oh my gosh,
mine will
thank
tell
you
me that
so much.
too. But, like, I just feel like I'm a critic, like, in everything I do. Whether that's, like, the clothes I wear, how I act, and, like, I'll interact with someone, and I'm like, why did I just say that? Like, I'll think about that all day and be like,
Me as well.
why did I say that?
Yes.
And then I'm like, no one actually cares. They
Like,
can be
they're not still
"Oh,
thinking about the odd way, the odd
yeah,
inflection I had
if
when I
I
said hi.
something weird or whatever, they may have been like, that was a little strange.
But then it's gone.
Yeah, but they don't care. And if they do care, okay, who
Darn.
cares? Like, I've gotten it through my head that, like, I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All I care about is what I think of myself. And so I'm like, if I see something that I need to change, then I'll change it. But other than that, nah.
I want to believe that what others think about me doesn't affect me, but it does. I know you are too. We're such people pleasers.
Yeah. I feel like there's certain things
Yeah.
where I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And I care. And then other things, I'm like, I could not give a crap.
And so just our final tip is really to just stay motivated because life is an emotional roller coaster and that you got it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So-
It's always just a fun ride to take.
Yeah, that's for sure. You just have to take what you're given and then keep going. Like that's all you
go
can
down
do.
a big old hill and just scream, and that's okay.
Just
There's days I want to just scream too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, it's basically a roller coaster. But yeah, like Mia said, you got it. I'm holding my thumb up right now and giving you a thumbs up. But
You've
you don't
got
know.
it.
You don't know that I'm doing it, but I'm telling you I am.
We're both giving you thumbs up, actually. But anyway, we wanted to thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. And if you missed last week's episode, you should totally go listen to our tips about things to know before you come to college. You can listen on our Spotify and our YouTube.
And you also should tune in next week to hear us chat about hobbies. Because we have a special guest coming next week, and we will not say who.
Very special, though.
Very, very special. And this person has hundreds of hobbies
Yes.
that they may say.
Some might even say thousands of hobbies.
Some may say that. And this person probably will say
Probably.
that. To be exaggerating. But it'll be a super fun week next week just to talk about all our different hobbies and comparing and just talking about how it is fun to find. So, I think it'd be a really cool episode.
But anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.